everyone, in this video I'm going to make the updated version of the Crochet Fish double thick pot holder. I've made many of these. I have updated the pattern a little bit, so it's a great time for me to be refilming the tutorial. And I'm making another set for a friend that just bought a house on the coast, and I'd like to send them a set as a housewarming gift. So the yellow one is part of it, and I'm going to do the tutorial with the green yarn. So to make it, you need about 80 yards of your main color. So for this, it's the red or the yellow. I'm going to be making a green one, and then your contrast color. So for this, I recommend an off-white instead of white. White shows dirt a little more. And even if they're just for display, you never know when you're going to grab that pot holder when there's something hot around. You're not thinking about, oh, I might get the pot holder dirty, right? And then you need some kind of ring, wood or metal, about 1.5 to 2 inches, something that can go in the washer. Plastic can go in the washer, but plastic is not heat safe, so wood or metal is best. And I'm doing this set with wood. I've got wood in my yellow one here. Aren't they fun? Very popular pattern. And then also you'll be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and this will keep it flexible and easy to work the cluster stitches that are in the accent color row, which is the light color. And so to get started, the old pattern, the ring or the fish hook in the mouth was worked at the end. So now I just work it right into the hook at the beginning, and then we don't have to go back and fiddle around with the end. You're going to do your slip knot on your hook. Leave a long tail, and I'll go into why later when we need to do that. Remove this, and you might want to stitch mark it first. I'm just going to throw a yellow yarn into the spot, and I'm working in a spiral, and before the pattern was a slip stitch, and I don't like the way that it looked when it came around. I'm going to put 6 stitches right onto the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, I think I messed up 5. Let's do 5 again. 5 and 6. There's a free pattern on the website in the link, and then the paid PDF pattern that has both the zebra fish, which complements it, and the clownfish. Both come together in the paid PDF pattern with no ads in it. And I'm not doing the entire fish with you, so you will need to follow along with the pattern. All right, so here we've got 6, and I need a total of 15 stitches. So I'm going to chain another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to pull out my project tracker. These are in the link in description, or you can track however you like to do. But the small page tracker, if you have one of my trackers, these work great for here. I'm just going to start listing the stitch counts I need, and then I'll check off as I go for the row. I started with this with the yellow one. All right, so to form the mouth, I'm going to slip into the first stitch. It's going to be really snug, this first one. Oops, I don't like that loosey-goosey first chain. Pull in, slip, and this long tail that I suggested having at, oh my goodness, this does not want to slip. Let's do it again. I've done many of these before. Oh my goodness. Let's try turning back. So when it comes time to finishing this, I'm going to work the long tail around with a tapestry needle. All right, and then I'm going to chain one and go back into that stitch and work a single crochet. So you need 18 single crochet on this round. So we start with 15 and there's going to be some increases. Let me use a smaller hook to get in there. This first stitch, this is an easy pattern, but this first little setup is a little cumbersome. Pull that through. I'm using a 4mm just to get that in there. All right, there's one. Now in the pattern, it says to increase in the first stitch. I've got to go in there again and get my smaller hook. All right, that's my first increase. Keep it kind of loose so that the 5.5mm can fit in there when I come back around. So increase in the first, then in the 5th stitch, so I'm going to count 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's the 4th one. So I'm going to do another increase here. 1, first 2 stitches in that stitch. And then at the 10th stitch. Here's the 6th. 7. Now when I come back to the stitches on the ring, I'll work through the whole stitch, not just that back loop. Okay, so 10th stitch, put 2 in there. And then just finish these last few. All right, and I know I'm at the end of the round because my tail is here. If you want to use your marker, use a marker. All right, so let's look up and see where we're at. So that was round 2, 18 stitches. Okay, so next I'm going to increase again. So this round, I think all of them increased by 3 stitches. These first 8 rounds, or the first 7. The first round was the starting attached yarn to the project. And then watch where I note that your increases go, just so that they're evenly spaced. Let's see how my mouth looks. If I look twisted, any point. Yes, it does look a little twisted. Let me pull that one out. Okay, put my starting tail back here. Make sure everything's facing up. All right, there we go. I need my little hook again. Just the setup that's fiddly. Promise it's an easy pattern. One, keep that loose so I don't deal with this again when I come around. And the second one in there, pull it up loose. Okay. Right, and then my next increase is at the 6th stitch. I'm gonna count 5 since I already worked one. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then my 6th stitch. Let me put 2 in here. 1, 2, and then in the 12th. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th stitch, 2 in here, and then just finish the round. Let me do one more, and then you can follow the pattern for the rest, and I'll come back and we'll start the putting in the accent color, the light one. My starting stitch. Let's mark 21 stitches for round 3. Round 4. 2 single crochet in the first. See how it fits in this time. 1 and 2. Increase at stitches 7 and 14. There's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my increase in my 7th stitch. 2 stitches in that 7th stitch. And then my next increase at 14. There's 9. Here's 14. 1, 2. And finish the round. Okay. That's 24 stitches. And then, so what this is, what it's looking like is this. This is what we're building out here. That was round 4, and you need to do, let's see, to round 8. So you'll work those increases like the pattern says for the next remaining rounds. And then at round 9, it's going to tell you to insert the contrasting color. So I'll be back for that. So I'm coming up to stitch number 36 of round 8, and I will bring up my new color. So you will not be cutting your yarn, just drop it back and pick it up again. It's all going to be on the inside anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. Pull this snug. Pull it snug. put in, just secure that end with that first stitch. Right, so the contrast color round, this contrast color, there are no increases ever on these rounds. The increases are on the main color rounds only. So your first stitch is single crochet, and we make a puff stitch. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in again. This is stitch 2, pull up a loop, and then a third time. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. Single crochet next, puff again. Yarn over, go in once, yarn over, go in twice, yarn over a third time, in, yarn over again, pull through. Single crochet. And you'll just keep alternating around like this. 2, 3, pull through, single crochet. 2, 3, pull through, single crochet. I will meet you at the end of the round, and then we do the next stitch. Right, and then when you get to the end of the round of the puffs, you're going to just single crochet around. Again, no increases when working with the accent color. Oops, I did not mark my 36 stitches. This was round 9. The single crochet around is pattern round number 10. Right, I'm coming up to the end of the round, and I know that I am because when I look inside, there's my main color waiting for me here. I've got one more, because I ended the round with a puff. So I'll go in there, pull up, drop this back, and bring the main color back up to complete that stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do increases. So that's the first repeat of the body. It is puff, stitch, single crochet, alternating, then single crochet, and then now the main color will be worked half double crochet. Back into that stitch, work 1, and for round excuse me, round 11, half double, it says half double crochet 2. So that means there's an increase right at the first one. Oh, that was an aggressive yarn over pull through. Okay, and then it says to increase again at stitch 12 and 24. So you're going to be going from 36 stitches to a total of 39 stitches in this round. Okay, so now I need to do 2 stitches here in the 12th stitch. 1, 2, go around, count 11 more, and do my next, or 12 more, 20, stitch 24. in that neighborhood. It doesn't have to be exactly 24, but just so that you're spacing your stitches out evenly around each round that you do them. I'm sorry, is this annoying when it hits the table? Okay, I'm gonna put 2 in here, and that will be my 3 increases for this round. And there is a free download of a single project, small project size sheet in the pattern on the website if you would like to use that. Okay, so I finished this, got my 39, and I already know here I've got it checked. And I'm just going to look ahead and write in my numbers. All right, so next round we still stay with this main color, and then we've got to do another round of increases, taking this from 39 stitches to 43 stitches. So it says to half double crochet in the first 2 of them, and then 3 more half double crochet, or 3 more, I'm sorry, 3 more increases in this half double crochet round. So this will increase by 4, and the last round increased by 3. So I've got those at stitch number 10, 20, and 30. I will meet you back at the end of this round. Almost at stitch 10, so I'll put 2 in here and keep working the round. All right, finish round 11, that's 43 stitches, and I'll bring up the accent color as I finish the stitch. So now I'll do the exact same thing I did when I did this round before. Single crochet in the first, and then the puff stitch in the next. Yarn over. Remember, these rounds with this color are not increases. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through, single crochet. Puff stitch again, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up, yarn over again, go in, pull up, and a third time, go in, pull up, yarn over, finish the puff stitch, single crochet. So I'll continue that around, and then directly following it is this just all single crochet again, no increase. So that's how you work these rows of our increases, alternating with the no increase puff stitch and a single crochet round. So I work 2 rounds in each of the colors just to make it look more balanced, those stripes more balanced. You're getting texture, but also a balance of the color. See, so your puff stitch, single crochet, and then my half double crochet, 2 rows that each have increases. Right, so you follow the pattern until it's time to start working decreases to create this fish shape. So I'm going to work up to that and then come back and we'll work some decreases together and the tail as well. Whoops. I do this a lot with the puff stitches. I usually can get this done in a day. If I have a day that I can work on it, they come together pretty fast. It's a pretty easy pattern to just whip through almost mindlessly. Just follow your increases correctly. All right, it's time for me to start working some decreases. This is round 27. So I'm going from 59 stitches to 57. This is just a decrease of 2 stitches. And it says to decrease at stitch number 9 and stitch 36. So decrease is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to do one with you just in case it's new to you or you just want to be 100% sure that you're doing it correctly. All right, so I've worked 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also, because this is half double crochet, you might wonder what kind of decrease to work, what stitch, and I'm using the single crochet 2 together. So this is stitch number 9. Go in, pull up a loop, go into the next, which is stitch number 10, pull up a loop, 3 loops on hook, just like it is with a half double crochet, but this is a single crochet, 2 together. Yarn over, pull through, and that's a decrease. And then you go right back to the half double crochet until you get to that 36th stitch or thereabouts. That's just some even spacing. As I mentioned before, you want to evenly space your increases, and you also want to evenly space your decreases because those are shaping stitches. Right, I'm at stitch number 36, so let's do this again. Don't yarn over, just simply go into that stitch and pull up a loop. Go into the stitch next to it, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. And that's the second decrease of the round. So that's how you'll work those until you get to, let me see, the very end, where you'll just be working a solid single crochet around, but I will show you how to do that when I get there. And a reminder that the accent color, this light color, you will still just work it straight around. There's no increases or decreases with that for the duration of the project. We only do the shaping stitches with this main color, and here it's this kind of a cool green tone. Right now I am on round 41, and this is where we start to work down here. You see how, if you look closely, visually, this changes to single crochet. So I'm going to, I don't need my main color anymore, so I'm going to cut that and leave a tail that I can work in. And then this will be just decreasing with the accent color. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm sorry. 6 more rounds. Each will be decreasing by 3. So we will be going first, you should have 36 stitches right now in this round, and we're going to reduce down using single crochet, the same decrease method, single crochet, oops, wrong one, single crochet 2 together to decrease. Let's go in. I'm going to work that tail end of my main color just a little bit here. 2, oops, I caught it in the yarn there. 3, that should be good. Okay, and then now my next stitch, I'll work my first of the 3 decreases. So go in, pull up a loop, next stitch, go in, pull up a loop, and that's my first decrease. Single crochet some more. Okay, another decrease. Go in, pull up a loop, second stitch, go in, pull up a loop, 3 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through. Let's get this main color out of the way. It's catching and twisting. I need it again for my tail, but not right now. Let me unknot this and I will come back. All right, so I'm just finishing round 41 and I've got 33 stitches now. Mark that I've done 33. You write on your pattern. You may want to make more than one of these. Of course, if you bought the PDF pattern, you can just print out another sheet, but it's so handy to have the tracker. Right, again, I'm going to work round 41 and I've got to reduce by 3 again. So I'll be going from 33 stitches to 30 stitches. So you'll do these decreases 6 times until you get down to 18 stitches, which is the right width for the tail. And the tail confuses people, the written instructions. I'm going to work that with you just because of how it's stopped and started and working back loops and all of that. It's simple, but it's not simple. But we'll get through it together. All right, let's make our tail. So it says to chain 18. You're still using that same size hook. You want to leave a tail enough that you can weave it in. A tail for your tail. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. This is going to be back loop. So we're going to the second chain from hook in the back, not back bump, back loop. So up here. If there's any uncertainty, it's this. All right, so I did 1. So you'll have 17 total. All right, I have my 17 stitches. So this end, let me take this out, where the tail of the yarn is. This is the top part that is flat. So here we look. This is where, up here, the side is always going to be straight. So the increases and decreases will come at this end. This end is always just flush straight. Right, so your first stitch and your last stitch, just to make sure that it's secure, should be a full single crochet, and then we work back loops for that texture. So we'll do 1 single crochet, and this is a decrease row. So it says single crochet 16. So let me do this again so I explain it a little bit better. The instruction says chain 1, single crochet 16, and it says decrease after that. So it's letting you know that a decrease will be worked in this row. And I don't put it at the first part because the first stitch is not a decrease. The decreases and increases happen at the end of this when you're going in this direction away from the top flat part of the tail. All right, so that was a regular single crochet, and I need 16 stitches total. So this is a 17 stitch chain right now. So we're going to leave the last stitch unworked. Back loop only. That's going to create that ribbed look that you see in the finished item. So count 16, or just when you get to the end, you'll notice there's one left. Don't work that stitch. Back loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet, back loop, on the very last stitch you'll work a full stitch and not a back loop, and that just gives more stability to the tail. All right, I've got 2 left. See, 1, turn it up a little, 1 and 2. So that means I've worked 15 stitches. I'm going to go into both parts of the stitch, that B, get it under my hook and finish my 16th stitch, thus decreasing the row by 1 stitch. You can already see that ribbing happening from the back loop only. All right, so now we need to do a decrease working back up to the flat part of the tail. So it says chain 1, decrease. So chain 1, and this decrease will be skipping the first stitch, going into, okay, we'll skip this stitch, work right over it, make a full stitch. So we always want to do full stitch at the first and last stitch of the row. So I've got both of those stitches, the V on there, skipping the first stitch, pull through, and then back loop all the way up to the top of the tail, working a full stitch at the very end of it. See how it's already starting to get that fishtail shape? All right, 3 stitches left. And then here, the last stitch, top of the tail, a full stitch. Let me get both of these on there. a little snug. Okay, there they are. You can see I've got both loops there. Yarn over, pull through, and back up at the top of the tail where the yarn tail is. Chain 1, turn. Now for 14 stitches, or row 4 is 14 stitches, so we did the chain 1, go into the first stitch, make a full single crochet, then the back loop only, and this will be a decrease by leaving the last stitch, which is the previous row was 15 stitches. We're decreasing to 14, so we will leave that last stitch unworked. Remember, when you're working away from this end with the tail top that is flat, call this the business end, where all the shaping stitches go, all the shaping stitch counts happen. Twelve, 13, and then this 14th stitch, we will stop short of the 15th, and then just work that full single crochet. Chain 1. So we did the chain 1, don't look at that. Skip this stitch and work full stitch here. And then back loop only up to the top of the tail base, working that full single crochet at the very end of this row. All right, so I'm going to keep working this until I get to the center point, which is 9 stitches. I'll meet you back for that. Let's finish this. We've got one more, and then the full stitch up at the top. Got both stitches there on my hook. Oh, the plies of this yarn make it a little hard to see, but there it is. Yarn over, and make that single crochet. It's still straight at the top. All right, so I'm at, let's see, this would be row 9, and I've got my 9 stitches. So now it's time to start the increase, so that we've gone up here. Now we need to come back down this way to make that inverted arrow shape. So this will be working increases at this end. Again, remember we just stayed flat up here. I'll start, I've got my chain 1, full single crochet in this stitch, and then back loop only. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be tight working in that 9th stitch at the bottom. Let's get 9. One, and then to increase, we just add one more stitch in there. So this will total 10. Chain 1, turn, increase. So it says to increase, which means work. So we have that chain 1, go into the first stitch and make 2 single crochet. Then it says 9 single crochet. So the 2 plus 9 stitches will make this 11 stitches total for the row. And you'll see that little mathematic equation in the instruction. That's just if you're wondering what it means to do an increase and 9 stitches. How do you get to 11? That's because there were 2 stitches in the first stitch and then 9 stitches up to the top of the tail. And I'll do my full single crochet at the top again. I just mark that I've done 11. Okay, turn chain 1. And then it says to work 10 of the single crochet or back loop single crochet, and then an increase. So 2 in the last of this row. So that will be your 10 single crochets plus the 2 in the last increase stitch. And I always find on this last part of the tail, meaning the last few rows where we're working these increase sections, it's a little bungled up in here. So just kind of watch your stitch count and then you can see where you're at. Since we're not doing full stitches in these stitches on the increases, because we've got to put so much into one stitch. So I've got 10. And then I work my increase here. There's 11, and one more makes 12. Right down that I've done 12. Chain 1. Immediately we increase, skip that first chain, work 2. And then we'll take this from 12 to 13 stitches by adding this 2 into the first stitch, back loop only, then single crochet to the top. All right, so I've got my tail done. So in your last row of your 17 stitches with your increase, you'll be at the business end down here. So I clip your yarn, and you'll have a tail there to take care of. Worry about that later. So I want to show you how, a new way that I prefer to attach the tail, just to make it look pretty seamlessly put in there. In here. Just find that works a little bit better. So cut a length of yarn, and just so you have room to work, cut at least 18 inches. So we've got to make some shaping happen. So you see in the demo one, or the one, this example, how it's kind of bunched up here at the top and then flares out at the bottom. That's the look we're going for. And you'll see we'll do it because, look, it's wider than where we're attaching it. So there's some little bunching that needs to go on. So cute when you put that together. So I use the same color as the tail. I just find that that works best. And I go in, go a little bit, this is the loosey-goosey little area. I don't want to do that. So what I do is work into the inner loops of, see how I've got the 2 inner loops here. Once you go into those, there's some tail to pull and maneuver around. Come back through, and as you're coming back through, let me come up through this one, begin to just gently gather, or rather skip. Let me skip this going here, see what I mean. So instead of going right next to where I just was, I'm going to go a little bit further along, just ever so slightly, to kind of create the gather. Actually, let me come through here. So I come on the other side and I'm able to pick up that back loop there. Hold these ends down here secure when you pull through. You're going to pull really snug to get this to gather up. Okay, so then let's do another one. Find those back loops here, this one here. Go in, not right next to where I just was, but a little bit further over. Push through. Find where I am on the other side. Let me pull this up. And then the corresponding loop, inner loop on the opposite side. If my yarn split a little there, but that's where it's supposed to go. Pull snug. Again, find that back loop right here. Go through a little bit, gathered over. Here's where my yarn came out. I'm going to move over just a little bit. Find the corresponding back loop there. Come through, pull snug. Back loop. A little more of a gather. If you'd rather pin it together for your gather, just to make sure that that you're gathering the right amount, you can do that. Back loop, pull through, nice snug. Back loop again. Come through. Back loop. Okay, next one. Kind of see where I'm at with this. Okay, this will be a good spot here. Let's see where I need to be here. Okay, whoops. Come through. Coming in through the wrong way. There we go. All right, where's my back loop? There it is, buried a little bit. Come to the end. Back loop. So I've got about 2 more stitches left. Let's get this pushed together a little bit. There we go. Oops, don't want to break my yarn. Through. Find that. Where is that back loop? I think that's a decrease stitch. Oops. I don't want to go on that outer stitch. Let me borrow one from in here to get it. Wrong direction. Let's come this way. And then our last stitch. Go in here. That tail end of the tail comes through. No, I split my yarn. Let me see how this is looking. This is such an important design element. There we go. I want to make sure that I get the tail on there correctly. Okay. And then come through. I come out to the side a little bit since I'm running out of space there. Okay, and then you're going to have these ends, and they are going to want to see what they're doing. So as you weave these in, this will help you also shape that little beginning part as well. So here I can kind of get it to be flush and bunched up at that end like it is at the other. And then we have our tail attached. That's my starting tail. Get this in here. Again, I'm going to come out to the side just a little bit like I did on the other side. The tail's a little short, but I can still manage it. Woven in. Now this tail is secure on this end. It's just, this is kind of for shaping, because that shaping is so important with the tail. I'm going to start getting it woven in. And we're going to work on the eye. Get this end woven in, and this one definitely needs some securing. Very cute. Another thing I want to look at, which I mentioned at the start of the video, is this long tail and the mouth. Actually, I can cut this. We are done with that color. So you'll take your tail, and let's kind of, make this look a little bit better right there. I'm attaching it at first. Trust me, it's easier to do it that way if you're new to this pattern than I had it before. So I'm going to bring this around just like it's more stitches onto this loop, and bring it through without closing up the mouth. So just stay on this outer edge. Just start bringing it through snugly. Let me do one more time. Make sure I don't lose my snugly. Just in line where it was originally. We're not making stitches, moving it anywhere. So do that twice, and then you can go ahead and just start weaving it in. Make sure I'm lined up correctly before I do that. But that gets rid of that little gap from where the starting hook was attached. I'll just weave this in now. Make sure it's secure. This will get a lot of wear and tear hanging. Uh-oh, I lost my thread. So I just want to make sure this is secure. And then when it hangs, it's not pulling and that big gap was showing. Did that here with the yellow one also. See, it just looks a lot more smooth. Right now I've got to give our fish some eyes. So I have two styles that I've done. You can do whatever you like for yours. I'll just show you these two ideas. So I've got here a black in the center, and I've worked some blue yarn around it. And then this one, because of the color, because this red is on the kind of a deeper tone, it's just past a medium level of darkness, I highlighted it by putting the white or the off-white color. Then I did the blue and the black. I just found that that looked better here. So for this yellow one, I'm going to do it like this. And then the green one, since it's more of a mid-tone, I'll do it more like I did the red fish. So what I do is double length the yarn and make a thick knot on the bottom so that it's not going to come through as you're working it. And by that I mean just knotting it onto itself. So it's two there. I'm going to make another knot. Get it pretty thick or I don't know. Yeah, thick knot, wide knot. Just make sure that that connects onto itself. There we go. That's a good size. All right, so I kind of figure out where I want my eye to be. If you have one side you like better than the other, maybe where you were changing your rounds, they might, like mine are on the side where my rounds change, so you can't really see what's going on with that when I do it with this method as opposed to the original method. So I'm going to go up just a little bit higher than the mouth, so it looks like where an eye would be. Come through till I feel resistance from that knot I just made. And if that tail is too long, it's going to come out of the mouth. And then just start working back and forth through these stitches here in a circular pattern. Oops. How did that happen? Okay. Ooh, that was a little bit of a mess. My little free ends that were in there got caught up with this double strand situation. Okay, so I go back to keep working around. I'm gonna leave a little space in the center there because I am going to put the black in the center. Just as many stitches as you need to get a pronounced effect of the eye color. You can use gold, green. I like that kind of hazel gold color. I've seen fish with that color eye. But just do enough because this is a design element, so you want it to really show up. In there. All right, I think that's enough. And then I can put the black in there. I think I do want one more pass right there. Let's see. Back here. Yeah, that's good. And then I'll knot it and go inside. You should have enough room to work in there. Just come through and make a knot on the inside. Just secure it. Do one more. And trim down. Right now I'm doing the same thing with the black yarn. Just fill in that fish skin color area. Make sure I'm not hiding any of the blue. And I want the black pronounced because fish do have these big pupils to see in the dark water. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, so I'll secure the black and then my pot holder is done.